they allow us to do 40 days before your first game, you can do 30 practices. And so that helps us because we can go really hard for 3 days and take a day off. So they have a few more days off in the preseason, which I know they like, coming off one yesterday. And I'm also able to give them fall break a little bit, which is great because the school's on fall break. And we beginning of the season, we say take these weekends, Labor Day and fall break is a good one for them too. We'll be about 13 practices in, halfway through almost, and we'll be able to take a break. So, wow, it is highly competitive and very physical. Our practices have been very physical, and there's a lot of diverse talent, and it's exciting. I think it's diverse talent, so it's not the same. So we can look very different within, like, just making 2 substitutions or 3 substitutions. We become a completely different team. And most of the last half an hour of a staff meeting is always going to be about lineups and where we're most effective and why. Like, why are we playing this lineup? Are we forcing the game on the defensive end, or are we taking control in the game on the offensive end? Last year, most of the staff meetings were, how are we going to hold whichever team that's ranked in the top 25, that's 5,000 of them that we played, how do we hold them under 55? Because we weren't going to score 85. This year there's some different conversations, being honest. The scoring is up, and we have tremendous length now, and some shot makers. A lot of that is the players that returned understood where we needed to be able to shoot over people to win a high-level basketball game. And South Carolina, NC State, 2 of our last games, right, they dared us to shoot over them, and we weren't as successful. So we spent a lot of time on that, so you've seen that improvement. And then also just our inside-out game. Our targets are huge inside, so you can throw it in there and collapse the defense and throw it out. So now you're shooting over somebody on a closeout versus someone who's just, guarding you. And so that the shots have improved because of it. So fun team, lots of talk, lots of energy. So we're expecting to be very competitive.
Questions for Coach or Destiny?
Destiny, what's your evaluation based on what Katie just said? How do you see the team compared to last year's team? What's new?
Everybody wants to compete every day. There's never a day that we're not competing with each other. We have fun with each other doing it. So, it's very special team this year. I think we're just going to compete every single game, and I think that's the very, important point of this year, just competing hard.
Katie, the Cavender twins, obviously they're famous.
Right.
But what have they brought the basketball team? What have they brought the
You know what,
practices
they-
and the vibe of the team?
I just had my individual, so I'm in my individual meeting phase too, where we lay out goals and we talk about shot charts, and they, seniors do a senior script and newcomers do something called My Journey, and, really intense, very wonderful meetings. And I had back-to-back yesterday and today. And the number one thing that they bring is they never get outworked. Okay, so I really want people to understand that they are determined workers. Like, basketball is a very serious thing in their lives. They don't back down from any challenge, and they are bold in the sense that they're coming in, they're trying to mix in with a new team that's very talented. They are wonderful young women, but they are,
I'm seeing nodding over here.
They'll do it. They're going to find a way to win, and that has elevated our entire team, and that's my highest compliment for them. And I texted them both that the other night, and then I was able to talk to them face to face about it because it's just raised the level. It really has. So they're tremendous.
Everyone knows them as, the twins, and in any case with twins, people lump people together with the twins. How are they different?
They're very different. They're very different. You won't know it at first. You won't know it at first, but they have very different personalities.
How about
and,
playing styles? Or
Um,
weaknesses, strengths?
Well, I think, Haley's probably had the ball more. So if you're someone like Haley that was a prolific scorer, but I just talk about how many eyes are on the ball handler, like our system, like how many eyes were on Destiny. How do we get eyes off of Destiny so that she can cut or move? So when Haley was used to having the 2 eyes on her defender, that were always staring at her, of course, and then at least 1 eyeball from the other 4. So she had 6 eyes on her almost every time she had the ball, right? I think they're not going to have as many eyes on them, okay? They'll be off the ball a little bit more. They play very well with like a Jalea or a Carla who takes the ball out of their hands and they're hunting shots. They have enjoyed that. I think it takes some pressure off of them too. And I don't know. I mean, the freshmen aren't coming in here, but you'll see them. I mean, they're not little. I mean, Lazara Spearman and Kyla Oldacre are very, very, and Natasha Lattimore, an addition from Texas, transfers. Usually you lie on heights, you say, okay, they're really 6'3", you list them as 6'5". We're not lying. We got a lot of length. And so that moves Destiny a little bit more to the threesome. And let's see the smile. She likes it. So we can have a little bit more size than we had last year.
Destiny, last year, the day we had this meeting, I walked up the loading dock and you were on your back on one of those leg press machines. And you came all the way to that Louisville game, which is the most unbelievable last 5 minutes anybody's ever played in a tournament game. All the way to, holding, winning a game in the NCAA tournament and holding the eventual national champions under 50. How do you feel about from that day when you were on the loading dock till the end? I mean, you made Haley Van Lift go like this.
I think it was a challenge at that time. Like,
Maybe it was Destiny.
no, it was a challenge for sure. Someday,
Well, that's one thing. I got you. That's one thing people missed last year, that we started the season without Dez, and Dez is the heart and soul of this program. Dez is everybody's favorite teammate. Dez is gonna get in the muck with you. She's gonna roll up her sleeves. She's gonna bring her lunch pail. She's gonna bring her hard hat, and she's a real positive communicator. So the frustrations that she had personally, if she were to have shared them with the team, what she means to the team, that would only have deflated us more. So she didn't get an opportunity to have emotion about it like she's having right now, because she was the brave soldier that wants the best for Miami. So she just kind of acted like it wasn't devastating, but it was. And so there was not a person who deserved that moment more than Des, and obviously now she's finally cracking.
Finally did it.
Sorry, girl.
That's a great question.
Great question.
thank you for that.
Any other questions?
Katie, have you
Yeah.
seen Jalea Williams grow now? As you're in your second year.
There's a big thing in our program, and it's my philosophy too, that jump between your freshman and sophomore year, you either make it or you don't, right? You make this huge stride, because when you come in as a freshman, we're not going to overcorrect. I want my freshmen to play. My freshmen do play. We've had a lot of all rookie teams. You'll see that they're out there having 3 turnovers a game, and the 26-year-old senior looks a lot. Well, I don't get 3 turnovers. I go, you would if you were 17, right? So we let them make mistakes because we want them to be impactful. But then we clean it up in the spring. I don't clean up a lot of their game. We want them to play and compete, right? So Jalea is the most competitive. She's incredible. But she has worked incredibly hard, especially on her shooting, because that was an easy scout, right? She's as quick as can be. She's just got to knock down some catch and shoots, and then you're not going to be able to guard her, and she's really worked on it. But what's really great about Jalea is there is such leadership in that young lady. There is such a natural I was watching that Magic Johnson thing, and I called her or texted her or something, and I was like, Jalea, there's that scene where he comes in, he's got the boombox, and Kareem's all cerebral, and they're having this Lakers, and the Lakers are all tight, and he comes in and starts laughing. He's like, we're winning, goes to the front of the plane, and we're winning this game. That's Jalea. I'm like, you're magic. Like, you got to watch this. This is what you do for this team. And she does. If there's still time on the clock and Jalea's on the court, we believe we can win.
Anything else?
I have another question. question, about the Twins. I
Yeah.
spoke to them a little at the walkathon, runathon.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Thank you.
walking. And they had all these ideas for marketing
Right.
the team. They really are business minded.
Yeah.
How much do you think that not just their presence on the team, but they are determined to raise the profile of your team and your program? You know, can you talk about that aspect? And or do you think you just view them as basketball players?
Yeah, that's honestly been our whole in conversations. But I mean, you know, obviously they have a skill set that's impressive, you know. So, you know, but from the jump, this is why I'm saying it so dramatically. They are so serious about basketball. It is something that drives them and something they're eager to. They want to win. They want to win on a big stage.
Can you tell us a little about the freshmen, one by one, just to
Yeah.
give
So Z is Lazaria Spearman. Z. She's once she learns that she can make a living off the backside a lot. She's so good, rangy. If you had, you know, she's like a Morgan Stroman with 3 inches of more height and more ability to leap. She's able to dunk. She's able to hit the three. She jumps up. You know, when you walk in and you're just like, wow. So she's gonna find her way. She's gonna get she's gonna love broken play. She's gonna love pressing. She's gonna love the open court, you know. And then Kyla's just the opposite. That Kyla is a sophisticated half court, 6'6", great passer. Her shooting percentage is gonna be very, very high. She's already, you know, understands the whys of what we're running things for. She's been in and out a little bit with a few minor injuries. So I haven't had a full opportunity to blend her in, but she's ball secure, a post player who's going to take care of the ball for you and have her point per shot plus assist. Okay, so point per shot. We give Kyla the ball 10 times, we're going to get 10 points. If she gets 10 shots, we know we're going to be at a 1 point per shot. But what I think is going to be impressive is that her PPSA, point per shot plus assist, is going to get us over. Like, if she touches it 10 times, Miami, not just Kyla, but Miami might get 13, 14 points out of her. She's that sophisticated, which for a freshman is, I'm saying a lot here. She's pretty special.
Coach, wanted to ask about Raquan Williams. Just
Yeah.
The NBA championship. Did you get a chance to talk to her? Did you watch it?
Yeah. Well, she's already overseas again, right? But yeah, and that look. I mean, the shot she made the fourth quarter on the left side in front of her own team bench was Miami at Maryland. Unbelievable. Where 8-0 run, and same thing. Looked over and I'm like, don't ask me to call a timeout. Step back, boom. It was a step back 3 at Maryland. It was a step back 2 in the game, but exact spot, exact moment. So we text about that. It was incredible, but you had to know it was coming if you've